No?
No, it looks good.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. I guess I'm ready then. Fuck it.
Okay. Hey guys, and welcome to our first podcast with the DBT girls. We haven't, got a name down yet, but we will soon. I'm here with my friends from my DBT group. I have Lexi and Maria, and we're just gonna go through some DBT skills and explain what DBT is today. So, what is DBT? DBT stands for Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. It is a type of cognitive behavioral therapy. Its main goals are to teach people how to live in the moment, develop healthy ways to cope with stress, regulate their emotions, and improve their relationships with others. DBT was originally intended to treat borderline personality disorder, but it has been adapted to treat other mental health conditions. It can help people who have difficulty with emotional regulation or are exhibiting self-destructive behaviors, eating disorders, and substance abuse disorders. This type of therapy is also sometimes used to treat post-traumatic stress disorder. So, how did you guys come to know about DBT therapy?
Well, originally, I had a friend who was in DBT a few years back, and she had told me about it and had shared some stuff with me about it. And then whenever I had gotten out of the CSU the first time, the second time, I just came out and asked my therapist at the time for something that I didn't know if it was if she would suggest DBT or something else, but she ended up suggesting me going to our DBT group, and that's how I got into it.
Okay, and what does CSU stand for?
Critical Crisis Stabilization Unit. Sorry.
Yes. They're very good places to go to. A lot of people are afraid to go to a place like that. And I know that there's a lot of stigma, of course, against mental health and getting help. But when you definitely need help, it's definitely a good place to go to. And what about you, Lexi? How did you learn about DBT?
I was Googling things like a couple of years ago when I was desperate, like, what can I try to help me? And that's when I first found out about it, but I didn't have any mental health providing at that point. And then I guess 6 months ago, maybe, I'm in individual therapy. And she mentioned that there was a DBT group, and would I be interested? And I was like, yes, please. I'm really glad that I joined because I met you guys, and it's helped quite a bit.
Yeah, and I went into it after I had a crisis, and then I was referred to it. So I was kind of lucky that I entered into it during COVID, so I didn't have to do the in-person group, which, there's benefits of in-person therapy, but for me, I felt like I probably wouldn't have done the group at first if I had to go and do it in person. So doing it over Zoom, which we are doing right now, has really helped me a lot in actually being able to attend therapy, especially that early in the morning.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I was originally...
I don't have a vehicle right now. I'm sorry, coffee. Kitty.
No, it's all good. I was originally in the group with everybody else, and I will say it's a different dynamic. It feels more lecture-y over online, but that's starting to go away, and we're all starting to get a little bit more comfortable speaking up. But I had gone into the in-person one, and it was very relaxed, and I only went to 2 sessions before COVID hit, so But it was a different environment for sure.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I feel like if this was offered all the time to do therapy over Zoom, I feel like a lot more people would reach out and do therapy.
Definitely, because I get scared like going to any kind of clinical place. Plus, then I have to like see all these people. Anxiety. Like, no, just let me talk to you over this. Like, this is scary too, but at least I don't have to go.
Right. And like you said, like not everybody has a car. So, yeah.
And I don't drive.
Like ways that you can get therapy and stuff online. Like there's apps and websites and stuff, but you gotta sift through it and find the good ones. I don't know what's good.
Yeah. It is a process. And Maria, you were going to tell us about mindfulness. What is mindfulness?
Mindfulness is really being in the present. Ooh, excuse me. I have a picture to share. Let me do share screen. I've always kind of liked this picture. Can you see it?
Let me pull it up.
Well, if it doesn't work, that's okay. I can talk about it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to work for me.
All right, that's fine. Stop sharing. Anyway, mindfulness, the picture that I really like, it has all these different little things that help you. It's kind of like a grounding, like doing breathing, trying to relax, especially whenever you're in some sort of a crisis mode, being mindful of the things around you and being aware of the things in the present, not things that you're stressed out about that are coming up, not things that you've done in the past that are bothering you, but really being present in the moment that you're in and focusing on something that's going to kind of relax you and calm you down, and being mindful about, you can be mindful about all kinds of things. You can be mindful about eating, about going for a walk. Whenever you do mindful eating, you're not sitting in front of the TV, just scarfing it. You're really taking time to enjoy and relax. And really, I think that's the main thing about it, is being focused on what's happening right now and not being overwhelmed with everything else.
That's a good description of it.
That is a good description.
It has been done for me, but it's definitely helps to at least try. And it becomes easier the more you do it. Like it becomes sort of a habit of your brain.
Right. I know mindful eating, something that I'm trying to get into. There's a book that you guys were talking about, or somebody was talking about. It may have been Aaron that was talking about mindful eating. And that's just where, we get into the habit, especially if you were ever a waitress, where you have to eat so fast. And you just get into the habit of being on break, like doctors and nurses do it, where you just scarf down your food. You're just trying to get into your body as fast as you can. So mindful eating is just slowing down and noticing the taste, the texture, how it smells, and just being really present while you're eating and not being distracted by anything. So that's something that I'm actually going to be trying to do more and work on. So I think that will help a lot.
It's really hard for me because I've always just, since I was 5, just sit in front of the TV or a book and just mindlessly keep plopping it in there. So it feels really awkward to me right now. And I want to be doing something else. It's almost like I don't want to fully focus on the fact that I'm eating because I feel guilty for eating. It's crazy.
Right.
One of the things I've noticed whenever you aren't mindfully eating, which I've only started doing mindful eating recently too, trying to get into it. Whenever you are sitting in front of the TV or whatever, you eat 10 times faster, man. It's just gone. And that, of course, makes you want to eat more, and that leads to issues.
Right. Yeah, you look down and you're like, oh, did I just eat? It is definitely crazy. So what's an example of a skill, Rachel, that you suggest people to start out on? An easy skill.
One of the easiest ones for me has been the stop skill. And you'll find in DBT that they love acronyms. The lady that came up with it has so many acronyms, and some of them are kind of weird. Like, it's not really the first letter, but it helps you remember what it is. So, there's stop. The first part is just simply, like it says, to stop. Take a minute. Stop. Like for me, I have been struggling with alcoholism for all of my adult life, really. And so, in those moments where I'm like, oh my God, like I stop. And I just, no, just don't drive to the store. Don't put that thing in your mouth. Don't get the razor. Don't do whatever it is that you know you don't need to be doing. And you know that is bad for you. Or you don't want to do. Like, you could apply this to just cussing out that bitch or whatever. Just stop. It says, do not react. Stop. Freeze. Don't move a muscle. Your emotions may try to make you act without thinking. Stay in control. I have to remember that. Like, I'm in control. It's hard. Because a lot of the times I feel completely out of control. So, but it's okay. We just stop. And then the second one is T, or take a step back. And for me, that means, trying to look at it from sort of an outside perspective. Like if I was talking to a friend dealing with this, sort of look at it from, zoomed out kind of thing. This says take a step back, take a break, let go, take a nice deep breath. Don't let your feelings make you act impulsively.
Right.
You're in control. You totally are. So we got S for stop, T for take a step back, O is observe. And this is where we just, figure out what's going on. Why am I feeling this way? Am I initially a situation? Did something terrible happen? Am I just bored? Is it habit? Like what? So observe. Notice what's going on inside and outside. It's the situation. What are your thoughts and feelings? And what are others saying or doing? So take stock of what's going on. So, and then P is proceed mindfully. So we're going to act with awareness. In deciding what to do, consider your thoughts and feelings, the situation, and other people's thoughts and feelings too. Think about your goals. Try to tap into that part of yourself that we call it the wise mind. We all have it. It's, if you were taking care of a child or something, like you using your wise mind and be like, no, you had like 8 pounds of chocolate. You don't need to have that too. Like, it's not because you're bad, and it's not because you can't have it. It's because I love you, and I need you to be okay, and you are not going to be okay if you eat all that shit all of your life. Like, I don't know. That's how I look at it. Like, just take care of yourself. That's the outside perspective that knows that you really, what you should be doing. So that's the wise mind. What can I do right now that's going to make it better or worse? Like, what should I do? And so, yeah, I'll put it back up here so y'all can, actually see, because that was a lot of rambling, but it's the stop skill. And if you just remember to stop, even if you don't remember what all it stands for, just the simple act of stopping and not just impulsively going for it, like that can help a lot without even noticing. But the other stuff.
I like that skill. Are there any other skills that you guys use a lot?
I haven't used stop as much lately because I feel like I'm doing okay with the drinking. I use it a lot for eating. Lately, I'm trying to look at what the skill is actually called. I guess it's just mindfulness, like thinking about what I'm thinking. Like focusing on what is going on inside of me instead of just distracting and blocking it out. Pulling up and doing whatever to get me outside. Instead, I'm trying to go inside and really try to figure out who I am and what makes me the way I am. And also not being judgmental. That's really hard. Like, I'm not there yet.
I'm trying to do the please skill a lot, which...
No! That was my bad. I accidentally left. Let me...
It's okay.
I have to get you guys back there. There we go.
Yeah.
I got click happy. Sorry, Maria, you said that you were doing the please skill?
Yeah, and the please skill is treat physical illness, eat balanced meals, avoid mood-altering drugs or drink or whatever, sleep balanced, and exercise. That's a skill that I haven't really been able to do a whole lot of, but I've been trying to implement it a lot more this past week. And I can tell the difference. Whenever you start taking care of yourself, it really does make a difference. And then, just mindfulness in general definitely is something that I do a lot of.
Yeah. It's something that in the beginning I didn't use a lot of the skills, and I don't know, I came into it when I was in crisis, so I had a lot of stress going on, and just my mind was just cluttered, so I couldn't really be as mindful. So in the beginning, I didn't do the homework, I didn't practice the skills, and then I started noticing that I started using a little bit of skills. It's definitely something for me that I started doing a lot more as it went on, as time went on. So now I meditate a lot more, which meditation can be anything to you. It can be praying, saying a mantra, or just clearing your mind and trying to be present. So that's something that I use a lot, and that helps. The stop skill I use a lot. Tip, which I'll have to pull that up because I don't know what it stands for. But the tip skill's pretty awesome. If you're in crisis and you need to just jerk yourself back to reality, I definitely recommend the tip skill.
Me too. I've been really bad about doing the homework and actually trying things, but the group was like, it's okay, like, you're gonna get there. And I feel like I'm finally starting to make a little progress because I started doing some of the stuff that was suggested. And the tip skill is one of those that I tried before I really started applying myself, I guess. Because I had done like the cold water on the face thing and this to like sort of calm down. But this takes it to another level. Like the really, really cold stuff and ice water, like that's even better.
Yes, absolutely. So it stands for tip the temperature, intense exercise, and paced breathing. So there's a video that we watched during one of our meetings that was pretty awesome. But you can take a bowl of ice cold water and you put your face in it and you hold your breath. Hey, thank you for following. And
That's
you hey. And you hold your breath for 30 seconds, which was very hard for me to do.
Same.
And what it does is it just like restarts your body. It's like the reset button. So it's pretty cool, and we'll go more into these skills like as we do these podcasts. This is just kind of like our little pilot podcast, just getting used to talking about this stuff. But DBT is working for me. I didn't think it was in the beginning, but it's working for me now. like telling other people about it.
Mm-hmm. That's something that I've really enjoyed, is being able to share the different things with people who aren't in DBT, who really could use some distress tolerance or some mindfulness techniques, or even my husband with communication and Dear Man and stuff like that. All the different, well, I'm sure we're going to get into all the acronyms and stuff like that later, but I've been in DBT for a year and 3 months. And honestly, it took me about a year to really start paying attention and doing stuff the way that I should. So I'm looking forward to this next year. I'll probably graduate in 2022 and, go from there, because that's usually what happens, is you're in it for 2 years. So I'm looking forward to this year and actually doing the things that I need to do and applying them more.
I'm glad you shared that it took you about a year, because I remember when I joined our group, I was like, I was so gung-ho about it. I was ready. Let's do this. I took on Amazon. I was going to do the homework and the book, and I was going to, it's DBT, and then looking at jack shit. And I felt horrible about myself for that. But you guys encouraged me, and you're like, look, it takes a while. It's okay. Keep coming back. And it has helped. And the more that I actually do stuff, like whether it's the homework or this or writing or whatever, like it helps. So I'm looking forward to the future too, which is something I have not been able to say for decades probably. So
yeah, it's good. Because before I did group therapy, this is my first time doing group therapy, I felt very alone, and like, I'm the only person that has these issues. And then you get into group therapy and you realize, oh, hey, there's other people that are just like me, that are struggling like me, and it makes you feel better. And like, I don't have any in real life friends. So I have a lot of online friends, but so this was like kind of a friendship for me as well, and like a support. So I like that aspect of group therapy as well.
It's really nice. I've always wanted to go to group therapy. I never have until now. The closest thing I can think of would be AA. That's a whole other issue. But this has been really nice. And what you said about, like, it makes you feel better and you start to learn that you're not alone, like, that's why I wanted to do stuff like this, and maybe like be on YouTube. And I'm not trying to like be famous. I just want to help, like, even if one person sees this and is like, maybe I should check that out. That's what I want. Like,
Yeah. I think sharing it with other people is pretty awesome. And it's funny, like, I'll be in a situation like with my mom, and I'm like, you need therapy, you need to go to DBT therapy, because I feel like she would get a lot of benefit out of some of the skills that we have to do. And I try.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So do you guys have support with going to therapy?
Yeah, I don't have really any IRL things either. But my boyfriend is amazing and very supportive, and he's been there with me through a lot of really bad shit. And so he's really happy that I'm finally getting help and I'm not just wallowing in my own misery. I feel embarrassed about it sometimes. Like, I don't really go through what we talked about and like practice with him, like Maria mentioned, but I've gotten over that a little bit. Like, I started showing him a couple things, and he's like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. He's like kind of normal in the head, not really. Like, he's socially anxious, depressed, but not like completely fucked up. Like, I feel like, I don't know. He's definitely supportive. I'm grateful for that.
That's good.
Yeah, I have a lot of support as well from, my husband. I have a couple of friends who I've been helping with them learning DBT, especially the distress tolerance skills, because she's finally going through therapy now, and it's just, it can get overwhelming. So I taught her some of the skills, and she makes sure to ask about things. So I do have a lot of support, whether it's from family or friends, to go ahead and continue. At the beginning, it was really hard for me to get up and go at all. And it was worth it to stick with it. It really was. Is.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard. There's days that you don't want to get out of bed and you really don't want to go to therapy, but then you use that opposite action and, come to therapy. So I just want to go over what DBT is, just because we have some more people that are joining. DBT is dialectical behavioral therapy. It's a type of cognitive behavioral therapy. Its main goals are to teach people how to live in the moment, develop healthy ways to cope with stress, regulate their emotions, and improve their relationship with others. DBT was originally intended to treat borderline personality disorder, but it has been adapted to treat other mental health conditions. It can help people who have difficulty with emotional regulation or are exhibiting self-destructive behaviors. This type of therapy is also sometimes used to treat post-traumatic stress disorder, which it has helped a lot for me. So it's been good. And Maria, can you go over mindfulness again?
Sure. Mindfulness was okay. So there's a picture that I tried to share. I'm just going to start where I had before. Anyway, there's a picture that I like to share that has a lot of different things that are involved in mindfulness, like cloud gazing and breathing, guided meditation, cooking, stuff like that. What it really is being in the moment. It's not worrying about what's going to happen in the future. It's not worrying about the things that have happened in the past you can't do anything about. But it's really focusing on the here and now, and grounding you to what's happening right now. And it really helps whenever you're starting to build up anxiety and you're thinking about things that may happen, scenarios that may happen, or something that you have to do, or something like that. It starts to get overwhelming. Whenever you start putting in that mindfulness and think, okay, well, right now, right here, I'm, sipping on water, and what does the water taste like? And, what does the coolness, is it sparkling water? Is it, and you're able to come back to the present time instead of being overwhelmed by the future or the past.
Right. It takes I like Buddhism. Like, I'm not a Buddhist, but I like reading Buddhist quotes. And Buddha was very into being mindful and just present in the moment, and, not focusing on the past, which is something that I am so horrible about doing, is, just focusing on the past and things that happen, and I'll just be sitting there during the day and a memory will pop up and it just ruins my whole day. And it's like, this happened 10 years ago. Why is this still affecting me? And that's something that mindfulness helps as well. It's just staying in the present.
It's a struggle for me too. The more that I practice, which I'm not on a schedule, like I need to do more, but I really like a lot of the guided meditations on YouTube, because just meditating without anything, I don't have the sort of self-control over my mind right now to do that. I like the thing where you sort of picture your thoughts as like you're like sitting on, sorry, I can't find my word. You're sitting beside a creek, or a river or something, and the thoughts are coming. We're not trying to stop the thoughts. We can't, but they come and go, and you just watch them. You don't like grab it and engage with it and get all up in that shit. It sounds easier said than done, but I think the more that I do it, the easier it's becoming.
Yeah, I like that. So tell me more about guided meditation and like body scan.
Well, guided meditations, they're all going to be a little different, of course, but usually they start out just talking you through, like, you can close your eyes if you want. Like, it's not telling you do this, do this. It's just sort of giving you like a framework of how to meditate. And so you can close your eyes or sit in a chair, lay on the bed, lay on the floor, be comfortable, and just listen and just sort of follow along. So most likely, ask you to focus on your breath. Sometimes it's, counting them, like in, out. There's all types of different breathing. But, I like sort of honing in on the physical sensations and feeling the air come in, then go down my throat into my lungs, expand the diaphragm as much as you can, feel your belly rising, even though I don't like feeling my belly getting bigger, but that's okay. Just all the physical stuff. That sort of pulls me out of it. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. The body scan stuff, I am kind of new to. I feel really like out of touch with my body. Like I don't like. I'm just thinking that I'm a little, just being of light. I don't. This meat suit sucks, but it's also good. It helps us do things. So. I haven't done a lot of body scans.
Yeah, I like them. And you can find this stuff on YouTube. You can find DBT videos on YouTube that explain it better. Body scan meditation, guided meditation. And I'm like you. I like the ocean stuff is my favorite. And then I use body scan meditation to go to sleep at night. It's kind of like saying goodnight to each body part and just, good night, toes. And you just go all the way from your toes to your head. And by that time, it puts you to sleep. So it definitely helps.
I like that idea. Saying goodnight.
Yeah. Maria, do you use any meditations or?
I do. I like a lot of the meditations that are on YouTube. I like the sleep stories a lot. It's kind of like a meditation. Uh, mindful visualizations of the story and things like that. They usually put me to sleep. But whenever I'm trying to just be mindful and in the moment, sometimes I'll do body scans. I love body scans. And how much it relaxes me whenever I do a body scan, and it grounds me. It grounds me.
Yeah.
Brings me back into the moment and not over here and over here and over here, and my brain's going everywhere. So I like those things too.
Yeah.
Can I share like the two that I listen to the most? Is that weird?
No.
Well, this lady, Lauren Ostrowski Fenton, she is amazing. She's from Australia, so she has that lovely accent that I like, and she's very calming. Like, she sort of is like the nice little mom that I always wish to have. And then the other one, his name is Dan Jones. He has a lot of really good sleep stories and meditations and hypnosis stuff. And he's English, so I think for accents. It's nice. I think both of those, but there's countless on there, so you just gotta pick them how much you like.
Yeah, and I think like our next podcast, we should definitely do some sort of guided meditation at the beginning. I think that would be fun to do for everybody. I've
Pretty cool.
I've thought about doing that. And then just going into more about the different skills. We'll definitely be doing more of these. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to share?
If you're thinking about therapy, definitely look into DBT.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend it, especially if you can, if you're somebody that has insurance and you can afford DBT, ask your therapist about DBT. You can look it up on your insurance website. And then if you can't afford it, you can buy the book from Amazon. It's DBT by Marsha Linehan. And I'll put that link. We'll have a bunch more links down in the descriptions next time. This is just our pilot podcast. Just trying to get back into streaming again, and it helps having some friends along the way.
I'm glad we did this. It was fun.
It was fun. And we should have more people next time, I think. Definitely have some more people.
I was going to share, like, if you don't have insurance, like a lot of people, and you can't afford some professional help, like, you can look up a lot of this stuff online. It's definitely better to have a professional, but definitely recommend that. But if that's not in the cards for you right now, you don't need to wait to try to help. You can go, then there's like DBT groups online, and I joined a Facebook group that actually has free Zoom DBT meetings.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. A lot of them are full, but there's always people coming. And they have quite a few for different times. So there's options out there if you just can't do the professional.
Yeah, we'll have some more resources next time, definitely. And maybe put together a page that you guys can go to either on my blog or Lexi's blog or whoever has a blog. And then that way you guys can kind of follow along. And, you know, we're not professionals, but we are going through this and we just like sharing it with others because it's helped us. So, but that was all that I had for today. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. We're going to try to do this every Thursday. So see you next Thursday.